Welcome to Amazimals, where animal wisdom transforms your life. Today we're exploring one of nature's most fearless warriors, the honey badger. Despite weighing just 20 to 30 pounds, these remarkable creatures routinely face down lions, take on venomous snakes, and shrug off bee stings by the thousands. By the end of this video, you'll discover 3 extraordinary courage strategies that allow honey badgers to overcome seemingly impossible challenges, and how you can apply these same principles to face your own fears with unwavering confidence. The African savanna, one of Earth's most dangerous environments. Lions, leopards, hyenas, and venomous snakes create a landscape where fear is not just rational, but necessary for survival. Most small animals survive through hiding, fleeing, or traveling in large groups for protection. Yet the honey badger defies this logic entirely. Despite being just 2 feet long and weighing less than a border collie, it walks openly through predator territory, raids beehives containing thousands of defensive stingers, and even sleeps in the open without concern. What's remarkable isn't just their physical toughness, though their skin is nearly impenetrable, but their psychological fearlessness. Honey badgers don't just defend themselves when cornered, they actively confront threats that any rational risk assessment would suggest avoiding entirely. So how do these small but mighty creatures develop such extraordinary fearlessness? And more importantly, what can their approach to danger teach us about facing our own fears and challenges? The first remarkable strategy of honey badgers is their biological confidence, physical adaptations that create a foundation of security from which courage can emerge. Honey badgers possess skin that's up to a 1/4 inch thick, virtually impenetrable to stings, bites, and even porcupine quills. This skin is also extraordinarily loose, allowing them to twist and turn within it to fight back even when grabbed by a predator. What's fascinating is how these physical adaptations influence their psychology. Because honey badgers have experienced from birth that most attacks simply don't hurt them, they develop a fundamentally different relationship with potential threats. This isn't just physical toughness, it's a biological foundation for psychological confidence. The honey badger's fearlessness begins with the embodied knowledge that they can withstand what others cannot. In our own lives, we often face situations where fear holds us back from necessary action. The honey badger teaches us the importance of building biological confidence, creating physical foundations that support psychological courage. This means developing what performance psychologists call embodied security. Physical practices that create a foundation of confidence from which courage can emerge. Rather than trying to think yourself brave, embodied security means creating biological conditions that naturally reduce fear responses. Whether through stress regulation techniques, physical training that builds capability, or gradual exposure that desensitizes threat responses, honey badger-like biological confidence helps you approach challenges from a foundation of security rather than anxiety. This is how you create the physical conditions from which courage naturally emerges. The second extraordinary strategy of honey badgers is their offensive mindset, the tendency to move toward threats rather than away from them. When confronted by threats, honey badgers don't just stand their ground, they actively advance. Even when facing lions or hyenas many times their size, they move forward with such conviction that these apex predators often retreat in confusion. What's remarkable is how this offensive approach changes the dynamic entirely. By moving toward threats rather than away from them, honey badgers seize psychological initiative, creating uncertainty in much more powerful opponents. This isn't reckless aggression, it's strategic initiative. By refusing to accept the role of prey, honey badgers force potential predators to recalculate the risk-reward equation of the encounter, often leading to the predator's withdrawal. In our own challenging situations, we often instinctively retreat, creating psychological momentum that reinforces our fear. The honey badger teaches us the power of the offensive mindset, moving toward challenges rather than away from them. This means developing what psychologists call approach motivation, the habit of moving toward challenges rather than avoiding them. Instead of asking, "How can I escape this situation?" approach motivation means asking, "How can I advance in this situation?" Whether you're facing difficult conversations, professional challenges, or personal fears, honey badger-like offensive mindset helps you seize psychological initiative rather than surrendering it. This is how you transform yourself from potential prey into a force that must be reckoned with. The third remarkable capability of honey badgers is their relentless persistence. the refusal to accept defeat even when initially unsuccessful. When honey badgers decide on a course of action, whether raiding a beehive or confronting a threat, they commit with extraordinary persistence. Even when temporarily defeated or driven away, they return again and again, often wearing down much more powerful opponents through sheer determination. Even more impressive is their biological resilience. Honey badgers can withstand venomous snake bites that would kill animals many times their size. They may collapse briefly as their bodies process the toxins, but they soon recover and often return to continue the fight, sometimes even eating the snake that just bit them. This isn't just stubbornness, it's strategic persistence. Honey badgers seem to understand intuitively that many opponents can be overcome simply by outlasting them, returning to the challenge until resistance is finally overcome. In our achievement-oriented culture, we often interpret initial failure as a signal to abandon our efforts. The honey badger teaches us the power of relentless persistence, continuing despite temporary setbacks or defeats. This means developing what psychologists call grit, the combination of passion and perseverance that enables long-term achievement. Rather than seeing setbacks as evidence you should quit, grit means interpreting them as temporary obstacles on a continuing journey. Whether you're pursuing professional goals, personal development, or relationship improvements, honey badger-like relentless persistence helps you continue despite resistance and temporary defeats. This is how you accomplish what others cannot, not through superior initial strength, but through superior commitment to the outcome. What makes the honey badger's courage truly remarkable is how these three strategies work together as an integrated system. Biological confidence provides the foundation of security. Offensive mindset creates psychological initiative, and relentless persistence ensures continued effort until success is achieved. When we apply these same principles in our lives, we develop what psychologists call psychological courage, the ability to take necessary action despite fear and uncertainty. Think about your most intimidating challenges, the situations that trigger fear or avoidance. With honey badger-like biological confidence, you create physical foundations that naturally reduce fear responses. With offensive mindset, you move toward challenges rather than away from them, seizing psychological initiative. And with relentless persistence, you continue despite temporary setbacks, maintaining effort until resistance is overcome. This is the profound wisdom the honey badger offers us. Not fearlessness in the sense of never feeling fear, but courage in the sense of taking necessary action despite it. Not through elimination of challenges, but through strategic approaches to facing them. The next time you face a situation that triggers fear or avoidance, whether a difficult conversation, professional challenge, or personal growth opportunity, remember the honey badger. Remember that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the strategic approach to facing it. By building biological foundations that support confidence, adopting an offensive mindset that seizes initiative, and maintaining relentless persistence despite setbacks, you too can develop the psychological courage to face challenges that would defeat others through fear alone. This has been Amazimals, where animal wisdom transforms your life. If you found value in these insights, please like this video, share it with someone facing their own courage challenges, and subscribe for more animal-inspired life lessons. Until next time, remember, every animal has wisdom worth discovering. What's your most effective strategy for facing fear? Share in the comments below, and let's learn from each other's courage.